we are jumping right in. I cannot tell you how happy I was to be able to come out here and start getting rid of my fall decor out here. It was a beautiful 55-degree day. I was waiting. We were so busy pre-Thanksgiving that I just was not able to get out here and spend the time that I knew it was going to take to get the front of our house cleaned up. It just wasn't happening. And then we had Thanksgiving, and it went from warm and bright and sunny to freezing cold literally overnight. I think the highs we had here in our area were around 30 degrees, windy, cold. I was just waiting for that 50-degree day to come out here and start tackling some of this. And boy, did I finally get it. It was a super windy day this day, but nonetheless, it was sunny and warm, made for the perfect combination for me to get out here and tackle this. My mums and pretty much all my flowers stayed so beautifully that I almost didn't mind it. I was enjoying it for the longest time, and then once we did get those cold temps, everything kind of went completely gone for the season, which was okay. It was overdue anyway, but I am starting off by getting these 3 planters I have in front of our garage cleaned out. I decided to leave the topiaries in. I love these topiaries. I don't think they're going to be coming back in the spring, but I am leaving them in because I'm going to actually wind up decorating them with lights and bows, and you'll see that a little later on. But today I am doing the front, and my husband is working on the basement. That's where all this wood is from, all the sawdust. So I'm just cleaning up a little bit for him as I'm cleaning up the outside, and you'll see him kind of walking in and out throughout the video too. He's working on an accent wall in our basement remodel that we have going on that we're super excited about. So like I said, I am finally able to get out here and tackle these mums and all our scarecrows, and it's it's a lot of pressure when you see everyone decorated and have their houses look so beautiful. And I used to be that girl. I used to have my entire house, front included, decorated definitely by Thanksgiving, but even early November. So this was definitely late for me, but that ship has long sailed, where I feel the pressure and and finding it necessary to have to stop my entire life to go outside or in my house and to do things just because the timeline says so. I feel like that is gone now. Time is out of my control. So I am very happy to be able to doing this today. And our weather has been so wacky. It's warm one day, freezing the next day. We've had some crazy winds here too. So I was just picking up a lot of garbage out here. I'm going to wind up kind of getting rid of some of these leaves, just really cleaning up out here before I go ahead and get our front decorated for Christmas, which I'm so excited for. I've done something new this year that I haven't done in the past, and I'm excited to share that with you too. And going to get all of these beautiful pumpkins put aside. We have a lot of farms in our area, so I'm going to be donating them to people who can use them. So that's really nice to be able to do. We had all these pumpkins from my sister's baby shower. The theme was a little pumpkins on her way. So we had lots of pumpkins that I had put out here after the shower to use for decorations. So now we're going to get to put those aside, get rid of some of these mums, and then we can start decorating for Christmas. I'm so excited. Phew, we had a lot of pumpkins out there. We still have more in the backyard. When do you decorate for Christmas, especially your outdoor decor? I feel like every year I want to get ahead of it. I want to have it done before Thanksgiving. I normally try to do it, like I said earlier, in the beginning of November, but whew, we had in November, wasn't able to get to it. And I really enjoyed all our fall decorations in the front, especially all those pumpkins that I really didn't mind it. And I'm not mad about it. So I was happy to be able to, though, to get out here, not only to put the fall stuff away, but we just had a big old mess out here. So lots of winds lately. So just getting everything cleaned up, leaves put away. Wanted everything to be a nice fresh slate for when we start bringing out all our Christmas decorations. And I am doing a lot of DIYing out here this year, and I'm excited about it. I always love the look of the real garlands, the real ferns and the droopy and I love it. And every year I always say I'm going to go and I'm going to get a bunch of that. I'm going to put it all over my house, but I don't know. I never do. It adds up quickly. The garlands are really usually not that long. So one day I was literally having coffee in my kitchen island and I looked out my window and I was like, wait a minute. I have those trees. I can do that. I can make my own real Christmas garland. And I know it's not going to be everyone's jam. Everyone's not going to be running to their backyards and clipping branches off their trees. But you know what? If this is something that you think that you'd want to do, it's super easy. Couldn't be any more affordable, completely free. And it's very convenient because it's right outside my back door. So I'm going to show you how I make those in a little bit. And I'm super excited about it. And I think they came out so beautifully. And getting all the rest of my decor now put away. My little guy, my 9-year-old, is going to help me get all this stuff packed up in the attic. And I am sad to see it go. I was really enjoying it this year, but feels good to have a nice, clean, fresh slate out front. Jack was in the basement helping my husband out, so I needed him to help me hand some stuff up to me into the attic. So while I was waiting for him, I decided to go out back and start cutting some of my branches for my my garlands that I wanted to make, and I knew I wanted to do a swag, and I'm also going to be doing some filler for my urns I have by my front door. So I decided to come out here, and I'm starting with the tree that needed to be trimmed. We had some branches that were hanging low onto our fence. So not only am I doing this to be able to make my garlands and all that, I'm also doing it because our trees need to be trimmed. Multi-purpose here, which is great. And this took a little bit of time. I had cut some of those bigger branches and I had to go inside and get myself a bucket for some of these smaller branches. But these are really, really popular trees. They're in most people's backyards. If not in your backyard, you can definitely go for a walk, probably in any park, and find something similar. And I'm just taking now my smaller clippers and just cutting some random branches. I tried to focus on the ones that needed to be cut, and we have so many of these in our yard that I was able to just keep moving along so that I didn't do anything to the tree. But honestly, I wasn't worried about killing it or anything because the trees really did need to be trimmed. And now I set a table up outside to do this because it is super messy, which was another reason why I was glad I was taking advantage of the warmer weather. And I'm just going to town here and I'm just snipping off branches from these larger pieces. I'm going to start off by making the swag that I'm doing right above my front door. I kind of have a rectangular window up there and I just wanted something to kind of sit up there and look pretty with a little bow in the middle. So that is what I'm starting off doing here. And I am just taking branches. It's easy as clumping them together and tying them with a piece of wire or string. Now, I have this wire here that I wind up not continuing to use because it was a very thin gauge wire, so it kept snapping on me. But if you have a thicker gauge wire or any type of string, if I was making this for a friend, I would have definitely used wire ties. But because it was me, I just used good old string, and it worked just the same. So now we are back into my garage where we have access to our attic. And Jack helped me out so much because to be able to have to go up and down, especially this ladder, is not the safest. It was very helpful for him to just kind of hand me all the fall stuff. Mainly, I keep the outdoor decorations up here, but I did have some indoor decorations as well that had made its way to the garage that I decided to stick up here too. So he's helping me get everything up here. It made such a difference. Our garage is a disaster right now. We're in the middle of renovating our basement, so a lot of the basement stuff has found its way into the into the garage. And then once my husband is doing any type of project in the house, it's just the garage is just the hub where everything comes and gets thrown and tossed and destroyed. But that's all right. We're in the thick of it right now, and when we're done, we'll get everything cleaned up. But now I am taking down what I can of the Christmas decor, and I did need to call in reinforcements to get my husband in here to get I had 3 or 4 heavier bins that there was no way I was going to be able to get those down, but was happy to be able to take this stuff from the attic, get it down to the garage, and then start decorating the front, which we were super excited to do. My kids kept asking me, when are we doing it? They were getting very anxious. I was starting off by hanging this wood sign that I made on our front door, which I actually wind up changing. But for now, it looks cute there. I went ahead and I finished making that swag off camera. And I also made these garlands. And I'm going to show you how I do it in a little bit. I winded up having to cut more to make the garland on the left column. So this was very early, a few days later in the morning. I woke up even before the kids had gotten up for school. I knew it was going to rain this day, so I really wanted to get this done. And for the garland, I made it a little bit differently than I did the swag. Rather than grouping a bunch together on top of one another, you really just want it really super wispy and light. So I'm just taking each branch and tying it kind of the top of one branch close to the bottom of the previous branch, if that makes sense. And like I said, I'm just using some jute here, just some string would work. If I was making this for someone, I would probably use small wire ties, just because I know for certain they will hold. But this was fine. This was just for our front porch. And I am basically using 2 pieces per branch. So every time I add a new branch, I'm tying it a little bit closer to the top, and then I'm tying it a little bit closer to the bottom, and so on. And I'm just going to continue that all the way down. And the awesome thing about this is, and you'll see when I go to put it on the front, is when I was a little bit short, but all I had to do was walk into my backyard, clip off another branch, and tie it on. So I know this is not for everyone. It's not everyone's cup of tea to go in their yard and start cutting branches, but I love to do this sort of thing. I love being creative. I love the satisfaction of making something with my own hands and using it in my own home. And I love doing it for other people as well. So this for me is super fun. And I am just taking some bigger wire ties now, and I am linking kind of 3 of them together, and wrapping this garland right around. And I am so happy with how it comes out. I'll show you a close-up in a little bit too, but I'm super excited for how it came out. Looks really pretty, and I didn't pay a dime. And at the same time, I cleaned up my trees in my backyard, so it's a win-win. I knew I wanted to string some lights on here, so once I had the garlands wrapped all around the columns, I went back and strung some lights around. Now, truth be told, I had to do this 3 times. I had strung all these lights, and then I put a ton of lights throughout our landscaping. And I think what happened was I connected too many lights together, and I swear I was having a Clark Griswold moment. And I think I told the Amazon delivery people that, and one of them had no idea what I was talking about. I went to put all the lights on, and they worked for like 10 seconds, and then half the lights went off. And I was so frustrated because you don't know what is the strand that's giving the issue. I had to go back and take everything apart and plug it in and see what worked and what didn't work. Anyway, that happened twice. So I know everything's sped up real fast here, but this probably took me over the course of 2 to 3 days, multiple times a day, having to stop, having to do things for the kids, having to Uber them here and there, having to go to games, and did it at night, did it during the day. So this took a lot of time. So don't be fooled. It took a lot of time. But I also made some filler for my urns here using the same greenery that I had cut from my yard. Found some twigs in my backyard. I have a beautiful magnolia tree to the side of my house here that needed a little bit of trimming. So I took off some branches from that, which you're seeing right here. And I was actually at my friend's house up the street, and I saw that she had trimmed one of her big bushes or trees that were in her front landscape, and she had all the trimmings on the ground. And I looked at her and I said, "Are you going to get rid of those?" And she's like, "Yeah." So I took them, and I am also using them in these urns. So I'm using 3 different type of greenery and some sticks I found in my yard, and we are making it happen. And I couldn't be happier about it. I am just sticking everything in. If you're going to do this, just make sure that your dirt, I had some leftover dirt in one of my containers that I had took the mums out from. So I poured it right into these urns and I really compacted it down. You want it to be really hard and tight for these branches to stick in and not move. And then you want it to be a little bit wet. So if your dirt is super dry, then just give it not a complete soaking, but you do want your dirt wet. So just get it a little wet, compact it down real tight, and then just start cramming those branches in. And I'm really happy with how they came out. There's no way I would ever spend the amount of money that it would cost me to go to a landscaping place and buy some of these beautiful urns with the greenery in them. So I was happy to be able to make it myself. I think they came out super cute. And then I'm actually going to add some berries that I find at Michael's, and I'll show you a little bit later on how it turns out, but so cute. I have a little bit left to do out here. I'm going to string some more lights. I am going to put some wreaths on these windows, and I am going to sit back and play some Christmas music while I give you a little look-see of how the front came out.
Tree lights twinkling when the moon's just right. Got me feeling like an angel tonight. Let's get the cookies. I've got something sweeter. Come on closer, let me turn up the heat. Is it the eggnog or is it just you that makes my heart race when it's just us two? Let's take a chance under the holiday lights. I wanna show you how I'm feeling tonight. Every moment makes me blush, dreaming of your magic touch. It's no secret that I want your love. Come on, baby, be my Christmas crush. Every moment makes me blush, dreaming of your magic touch.
I hope you had fun decorating my outside with me today. And this couldn't be truer. We are probably watching Christmas movies inside. Couldn't pass that up, Hobby Lobby. There is a lot of love put into out here. Took me a few days. Hopefully our lights stay on now. I am happy to call it done. Our sign I put back out here that I had made few years ago now. All roads lead home at Christmas. One of my favorite sayings. And we have one in the house too that has the same saying on it. I love that. Thank you so much for hanging with me. I hope you got some inspo. Hope makes you not afraid to go in your own yard and forge your own creativity and your own decor for the front of your house at Christmas time or any time of year. This was another DIY. I had some hay bales left over from my sister's shower as well, and Just took some red ribbon, tied it on, made it look like a gift, put these cute Dollar Tree candy canes on there, strung a few lights on it, and I think it looks super cute. My daughter picked up this hanging Santa at Walmart. She had to have it. I was skeptical, but he actually is super cute hanging from our garage here. And these are those topiaries that I left in our pots and just strung some lights on them. The ones on the ends anyway. I didn't really have an outlet for this middle guy here, but put some bows on all of them, and I think they just add a cute touch to the decorations out here. Thanks for hanging with me. Hope you got some inspo. Please subscribe, stay a while, and I'd love to have you. Thanks for being here. See you in the next one, guys.